Now we're going to take a look at a very valuable function in PhotoLab, and that is the history states located on the left-hand side of the workspace right about here. And if you are familiar with the way the history states work in Photoshop, it's exactly the same, so you can probably skip this lesson. Now, for those of you who don't know what the history states are, what basically happens is that the history panel will record every step that you take on this image and allows you to back up and start again if you feel like you need to. So let's take a look at this image in the Dolomites of northern Italy around the Trecime Formation near Cortina. And this work has quite a bit that needs to be done to it. So let's go ahead and start. I think the first thing that we'll probably do is work on these clouds. And I'm going to go ahead and click on DxO Clearview Plus. And obviously that's too much, so we're going to pull this down to here. And we're going to just increase here just a little bit. Now, I know there's a lot of sensor dust on here, and we will correct for that. But I want you to notice over here on the left that every time I do something to this image, it's recorded in the history states. All right, so I'm going to go to the color section. I'm going to increase the vibrancy quite a bit. Just bump that up to right there. I'm going to warm this image up some. Turn up the temperature and the Kelvin. Maybe just a little bit of the magenta in there. Now I think I'll bring that back to about right there. Now I'm going to go back to brightness. I'm going to come down to the shadows. I think I'm going to leave that the way it is. Let's take the blacks. I'm going to increase the blacks just slightly, just a little bit, just to let you know there's something down here other than just blackness. Now I'm going to come in and take care of this sensor dust, which is really kind of bad. And I'm going to zoom in at 100% on this. Look at that. How did it ever get so bad? All right, we'll click on this. One thing about PhotoLab and this repair tool, it does take a while to respond for some reason. But once it figures out that you mean business and you want to go ahead and start working, it seems to catch up with itself. It's just got an attitude. All right, so we're going to continue to pack here, get rid of the sensor dust. And notice each time I click, it adds. Man, that sensor was filthy. And each one of these mouse clicks is recorded as a specific correction on this image. And did I send this sensor out for cleaning? Yes, I did. All right, now for the sake of time, I'm not going to bother with this anymore. I think you get the idea. Let's go ahead back to full view, except this one right here I have to do something about. Let's see if we can boost this just a little bit more, and that probably helps. And I think it needs a little more saturation. Let's go ahead and boost this up. I think it needs to be warmed up a little more. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we've done a number of different adjustments to this image, and what I would do is export this as a TIFF file, a 16-bit TIFF, then take it into Photoshop, do some other things that I can't do in DxO to prepare it for final use. I'd put it in Adobe Camera Raw and use the clarity slider for this area down here. I would darken these areas up here to try to focus the attention on the mountain. But I think we've done enough to demonstrate what the history states will do. Now, if we focus our attention over here, notice that everything I've done to the image from the very start, right here, has been recorded in sequence. Now, if I don't like something and I want to back up, I can simply go to here or to any other state prior to that specific adjustment. And then I can start again if I want to. But notice the specificity that you see. In other words, I made a temperature adjustment, and it tells me exactly what that Kelvin value is, 8318, and over here you can see it's 8318, and the saturation is at 37. Sure enough, we come over here and the saturation is at 37. So everything I've done here is recorded, and I can go backwards and forwards as much as I want to start again working on the image. And that's really it, the history states. Now, when you close the image out and go back to it, you lose them. You don't get your history states back. Now, if I go to this one, of which there are no history states, and then I come back to this one, you can see I do have my history states. So you can work on other images as long as you don't close the program and then relaunch the program and go back to this image, you'll have your history states. And you're actually getting 2 lessons in one here because this is exactly how it works in Photoshop. So when you get there, you'll already know how to use the history states in Photoshop. So those are the history states in DxO PhotoLab 4.